Pocho from Leila Ishak. Me Burkina. Na mepede nka aban obuom. Oye juma me ya musmuzboa me busuafo. Ye bata na mikita mbesia. Obia ko school. Mo obi ko university. Na mo obi o secondary school, mo obi o JSS. Na primary foka ho. Nti nka mpede aban obuom na me dwuma no ozimu. Ama me tumi za aboa mamba na mbabu na wanye adwuma mfanye so otumu to be ton nti nka mpeda aban obom na adwuma na mu bue na obi aze ho mfaso oh mutoni by 7 to 8 years oh onya bad water say yen fine kotin za wo boto so depend wala meyen na ochira market a oba Burkina is bana yes millet na milk yezie yamfa nyama bia nyama ye use nyina natural awozin wo ma o ma pomuzin ahawa oya ye face wo mu de milk no wa akosho nti won fa ne de face etumu to milk be 10 milk 10 niska nde botto be 5 nti nka ye hia sika ehun se ye financial support za obeyi oye juma se eriye na nya financial support anu mutumu bue ya kase otuma aboa mbebunin senyipa ko ne nwaje ho do obosua nkotenza motuma akira no manu so nsa akwana ano umaka akira bane de sisia abrabo no maazin nti yen na yekita nsa no edwuma no obo yen na yesu obotuma aboa mbebun wama unemployment na akofom ma obia besia ba wa so even benyin mpo ne nwaje ho obotuma esua no so wa ton za abo na ebusia de mesi maso meye oh se on fa ne de mba by 5 na wokoya motu market ye da motu nya by 1800 market nya da by 400 below 400 se aban buom za azino obokodo why the areas don ho chiro but say e was support woman obey bibia area na nkaka akra but no mu bue a o encourage nkrofo ma azano so kosho say yen papa nkotenze.
My name is Enoch T. Kwesin. I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Biochemistry of the School of Biological Sciences, College of Agriculture and Natural Sciences, University of Cape Coast. I think you are talking about Burkina, which is more of a cereal dairy drink that has caught up with the Ghanaian population, and indeed it is good. It's catching up with the population. It's not something that is not expected because of all the good that comes with it. Those who have taken it says, or those of us who take it say it gives us a filling effect when we take it. We're able to go on it for a long time without taking additional meal. And that is more so because of the composition of the main ingredient, which is millet. In Ghana here, the millet that is common and that is likely being used for the Burkina production is pear millets, even though there are others, because that is what is produced by the farmers in the northern part of the country. And pear millet has a protein of about 14.5%. It has crude fat of 5, a little over 5%, and a fiber of 2%. So if you take the fats of 5%, what it means is that when you eat it, it is going to produce what we call satiety to make you feel satisfied, and you don't even have to take a lot of it. So that is why those of us who take it have said that when we take it, it makes us, we easily become filled up and we are okay. And then also looking at the fiber is of two components. We have the soluble and insoluble fiber, and these all have beneficial effects on the consumer. The insoluble fiber helps with the a management of constipation because it produces bulk stool. So what it means is that you are able to easily, you wouldn't have problems with constipation. The stool will easily come out. So that is what it does, because it helps with absorbing, bringing a lot of water into your intestine, aiding free bowels. And then also the soluble fiber, what it does is it produces a gel-like material in your system. So it is able to help with bad cholesterol, low density lipoprotein, which is the cholesterol that is not good. So we're able to manage that. And it is also able to help with management of blood sugar level. So these are some of the fine benefits that can come from consuming a product like Burkina that has millet as its main ingredients. The fact is that if you look at the processing of many of our cereals, they are the labor intensive, I should say. You look at the culinary processes, it takes a lot of time, not to talk about the energy and all of that. So if a product like Burkina, which is more like a convenience food, because, I mean, when you get it, you are eating it. You don't have to process it. It is good. And once it is catching up with many people, because now many of us are living a high-paced life. You don't have the time to process, and we want to get something that we can easily eat. So once it's catching up with a lot of us, then it means that we need more of the millet, and so more farmers will have to produce more of the millet. So they getting the necessary support to produce more will be indeed good. Otherwise, we may have to import from other Sahel countries like Burkina Faso and all of that. They also produce a lot of the millet to supplement what perhaps our farmers are producing here.
I'm Dr. Mauli Agbanle of the Biochemistry Department, UCC, yes. Well, Burkina, we are talking about Burkina. Burkina is one of the new kids on the block. It's actually an old food, but now revived in a way. And it has such a great potential to transform so many lives. And so we think that with the right expertise on board, we'll be able to make a big difference in the way Burkina is consumed in Ghana, so that it will be part of the food chain of the system, the food systems that we have locally. Yeah, you have mainly women who produce this food, and it's so lucrative that they use it to support their families, and they also produce in large quantities, and then they have people who come to pick and then go and sell. So those are the young ladies you see by the road. But actually, what you see is a huge industry. Burkina, if we with the right support, is a huge industry that could transform many more lives. For instance, it could be, the breakfast for secondary schools, and actually that is the vision, to try to lift it up to the stage where it is safe and could be served as breakfast for secondary school students. So it's a huge industry that you see line up by the road like that. The industry as it stands, there have been recent reports of some of the challenges, for instance, with microbial safety, and it's raised a lot of concerns. But we think that what you see is not unique to Burkina. Every industry that uses milk, that uses sugar, that uses cereals, have the same challenge that the Burkina manufacturers have. But they are not unsurmountable. We can overcome it with the right team. That is why we here in the Biochemistry Department of UCC, we have cereal chemists, we have microbiologists, we have food process engineers, we have quality assurance personnel, all put together to help solve this challenge with Burkina. It is a very nutritious food, very good food, and it has the potential to transform many more lives. That's why we are so much interested in helping to improve the quality of Burkina. So that is why we are trying to put together, we have a team, that's why we are trying to launch a project to enhance the consumption, or to promote the consumption of Burkina in Ghana, especially amongst the elite and those who have concerns about where it is produced, how it is produced. But those are not issues that are very serious. We can overcome it with the right processing technique, with the right packaging. All these things can be solved. The processes we have in mind, what we want to introduce, are things that are already being done, but they have to be done in a right way. The women know those technologies already. We are just going in to enhance the way these techniques are employed to make the product safer, so that the people, the elite, would also be. I know there are some Burkina producers that are already have FDA certification. I know about a few of them in town, Salamatu, and the others. But there are many more that could be helped to leverage them up to that level to make it so profitable. Burkina is made from millet. And, millet is one of the lesser used cereals around. So promoting it the millet farming would go up. Production of millet is cheaper than maize. Yeah, so the production of millet will go up. We'll have an alternative to the maize, and then the value that comes, then the milk, cow, fresh milk production will also go up. Then the manufacturing itself, the packaging, they are huge benefits that production of Burkina entails. Yeah. So for us here in the university, as I said, we have the tech expertise. We can also put together a pilot processing plant, for instance, a pilot process to use to train them. Training is the key thing. Training in the processing, the packaging, and everything is key. And we'll need a pilot processing plant to do that. And the rest, we have all the human resource that it takes to do it. So that's the appeal that we're making out there, that will be, if we can get the pilot processing plant, it wouldn't be imported, it will be fabricated locally. We have competent fabricators who can easily put together this. And with the assistance of FDA, we'll put together a training program for the women who are engaged in Burkina production.
So my name is Dr. Jerry Ampofo-Isiama from the Department of Biochemistry. I'm a food science lecturer. So within the Department of Biochemistry, we have been doing some work on Burkina, a very interesting product. So the main interest in Burkina is born out of the composition of the food. So on one hand, we have a product that is made up from millet. Millet is a very energy-rich food. Then the second hand, we have millet combined with milk. Milk, we know the nutritional benefit of milk. So young babies are taking milk, and we know how good it is, how nutritious it is. So when you bring those two products, then the product becomes something that becomes more of an interest to us. So we try to do some work on Burkina. We started first to see about how long the product can last. So if you put the Burkina without refrigeration and you put it in the refrigerator, how long can we take the product and how long is it safe to consume it? So upon doing some investigations in the lab, doing some analysis, we saw that when we don't keep it in the fridge, it's going for a maximum of 2 days. Then we can see that it's already spoiled, we can't drink it anymore, then you have to discard it one way or the other. But when we keep it refrigerated, then we saw that we can keep it for even up to 2 weeks, which is quite interesting. So we also try to see that if it's 2 weeks, even though it's long enough, considering the potential of Burkina, how nutritious the product is, then 2 weeks is not quite long. Okay? So if you look at Burkina with millet, with milk, and the composition, the energy drink that is there, so we have a lot of calories present in there, we have a lot of proteins in there, we have a lot of vitamins in there, we have a lot of phytochemicals in there, even have fiber that is now being talked about that is recommended for us. Okay? So we know that Burkina, besides it's being vended every day and normal people can eat it, the nutritional composition also means that it can be used even as a weaning food for kids. So if you want to design a weaning food, then a shelf life or something that can just last for 2 days, where it's not kept refrigerated, or something that can just last for 14 days, it's not long enough. So we need to find ways of trying to keep it there for a very long period of time. So currently we are doing some research into the production of Burkina. First, we want to see how we can make the production more efficient so that the final product is even more nutritious than the one we have on the market. Then second, we want to find ways of trying to make it last much longer. And that usually is the tricky part because it's a water-based food. And we know that once water is present in food, it's not going to last for a very long time. So currently, our work mainly that we are doing is mainly towards finding a way to convert our Burkina into a powdered form so that if you want to consume it, we just take it, we add a certain amount of water to it because it's a powdered product, just like we have for our weaning foods for babies. We just take a small portion, we add water to it. You don't even have to add anything more. Okay, so ordinary hot water, then we can serve it, we can enjoy the nutritional benefit. That is what we are doing right now. So we have a lot of students trying to produce Burkina for us, trying to dry it under different conditions. So along the line, we still don't want to lose the nutrients because drying is also a processing step. So we want to dry it under optimum conditions that will give us the same nutrient of minimal nutrient loss, but then it can last for as long as possible. So that even if it's produced in Cape Coast, where we are talking now, we can send a powdered product to people in the north, we can send it to all parts of the country. Then we can, even outside the country, then we can enjoy it, we can eat it, we can drink it, then we can get all the nutrient requirements that are present in there. So that is one aspect of the work we are doing on Burkina. The second aspect is related to the safety. Okay, so in this one, we are trying to work with some of the production women to teach them some few basic guidelines in food processing and food hygiene, so that at least with what they are doing now that they are able to sell for 1 day or 2 days, they can still meet the quality criteria that is safe for consumption. So that when we eat it, we know that we are not going to fall sick from eating Burkina. So on the other hand, we can enjoy the nutrients, then we can still be healthy, then we can enjoy all the properties that Burkina has to give us. So what we are planning to do with the training is to work with the FDA because they are the regulatory body. Okay, so we work with the FDA so that during the training they can join us, then they can give a small stamp or seal of approval to the producers who have undergone the training. So that means that when this is done, we also inform the general public that we have organized training for people involved with Burkina production. We show them the seal of approval. So when you go to the market or you go to the street and you want to buy Burkina, you look for that small seal of approval and say that this is a certified product that the people involved in production have worked with the food unit of the Department of Biochemistry of Ucc and also in conjunction with the Food and Drugs Authority to make sure that you can enjoy a healthy diet.
In fact, I do take it a lot. I had an interview with somebody who also uses it a lot, and the person told me the benefit of it. So I decided to go into it. Although where they prepare it, I thought, yes, I have no idea. But when I took it, in fact, I realized that what the person said was good. If I have a lot of work to do in the day, first thing I do is that by 8 o'clock, I take a Burkina, the 5 cedis one. And I don't need any other food again. Just water, and I can go for the whole day. Then around 3 o'clock, I take another one. I will not even eat any solid food, and I'll be okay. So that is the reason why I take it. I take it when I have a serious work. I know that today I'm coming to work, and today will be a day that will take a lot of energy from me. Then I take it. So I have them in my fridge. So I don't take them every day. I take them for a purpose. And I think it also gives a lot of energy. Even that one is later. We will talk about it.
Okay. My name is Dr. Nazir Kizi Hayford of the Department of Biochemistry, University of Cape Coast. Basically, processing of Burkina involves, I think it's just a combination of millet, and this is partly fermented, and it's also, boiled fermented, and then mixed with milk, dairy milk, and in most cases, certain sweeteners are added just to enhance the eating quality. In other words, the sensory effects one can obtain from consuming Burkina. Basically, this one has to do with the microbiological quality. Millet itself has its own microflora, and that of milk also serves as a very nutritious base for microorganisms to quickly proliferate. So one needs to look basically at the processing unit involved, milling, the boiling, that's fermentation, and the boiling that has to do with the millet processing, and how this one can combine with the milk to ensure that at the end of the day, certain toxins are not, microbial toxins are not present in the milk. So in this case, one can, for instance, look at the microbiological quality of the water that is used, the millet itself, the processing steps, as well as the bottling in particular, because all these can be safe, but then because of the semi-solid characteristics of Burkina, it's important that a very quick bottling process is used. So here, most cases, we have the bottling that involves this narrow-necked. Yeah, one can look at caps, for instance, that could enhance because contamination has to do with the area of the food surface exposed and then the time within which it's exposed. So one can do a very quick bottling in a way that would shorten the tendency for its contamination, and then also perhaps its eating, ease of eating, because this is thick and you have to shake it several times in these bottles before the consumer can have access to it. So one can even introduce spoons, etc., for consuming this, and these can all go a long way to enhance its microbiological quality, which is currently quite a concern, as has been portrayed previously. So first of all, it is processed from millet and then milk. The millet is boiled and fermented, and then this is mixed with the milk substrate. And at the end of the day, you have sweetness and perhaps stabilizers that may be added to ensure that it has a longer microbiological quality. In other words, it has a long shelf life.